you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And this is the first video that I have ever made, and maybe the only video I will ever make related to reptiles. We'll see. But I've got as you can see, I also collect books, and I'm a reader and a collector of things. I've got a book channel where I talk about reviews and unboxings and such as that, and collection and all sorts of book stuff called It's Terrific Books. But I'm also a person who loves reptiles, and that started when I was, I think, 8 years old, 8 or 9, back in 1986. So 9 years old back in 1986, I fell in love with snakes, and when I realized that a snake could be a great pet, and that ignited my passion. It was a friend of my dad's, a coworker of my dad's, had a ball python, and he showed me that, hey, these things are nice, and I held it, and I wanted one so bad. And my first snake was a southern hognose that I caught in Central Florida way back then, long time ago, and he was a really cool pet. And I've had a love and an interest in snakes for a long time. I didn't have any for a long time. A big window of my life, no reptile pets at all. I always liked them, and when I had kids, I'd tell them, hey, how cool it was. Well, guess what? My kids got into reptiles, snakes and lizards and all sorts of things. And one day my passion was reignited. And maybe if I ever do any more of these videos, we'll talk about a lot of that kind of stuff, if you care. But today I got in the mail for the first time ever a snake purchased online and shipped. I've looked online before, lots and lots and lots of snakes. Never actually pulled a trigger on buying one and having it shipped to me. It seemed complicated. It seemed difficult, like thing for other people, risky, all types of stuff. But I was on the Morph market, and I found, my wife may have found, a boa, an IMG het 100% Anery boa, a little less than a year old, and I've got one. I've got one almost just like that, but it looked so good in the picture. It looked so beautiful. And the seller was a Resident Reptiles 330. And if I got that wrong, I'll correct it if I ever do post this video right here. I'll have the real name. But I think that was it. And it turns out the guy's name is Paul Mayfield IV. But anyway, I'm sitting in the kitchen the next day. Got to go to work the next day. And it was a Sunday. And my wife is saying something about, I wonder if it really looks like that. It'd be neat to see more pictures. So I pulled up the seller, and there's a phone number. And what happens sometimes is when my eyes see a phone number on my phone, my thumb just touches it. It's like, gotta touch that. And the phone says, well, do you want to call him? And my thumb says, call him. Boom. So I called him up. The phone's ringing. And a guy answers the phone, lo and behold. And I said, hey, Paul, my name's Tim, and I was on Morph Market, and I'm looking at a boa. Is this the right number? And yada, yada, yada. He's not home. He's at some place getting some things. And he says, can you give me the animal number? They have a number on there on Morph Market. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Give me that number when I get home. I'll look it up, and we'll check. Some of the snakes in that litter are a little bit spicy, because I asked him, hey, what's the temperament? Because, again, I started loving reptiles, snakes as pets, and I like snakes that are nice to handle as pets. He said some of the snakes in that litter are spicy. When I get home, I'll call you, and I'll get the one you're looking for, and we'll find out. Well, Paul gets home, and he says, hey, can I just call you on the Facebook Messenger video chat? Okay. So he videos me up. I'm looking at Paul, and he's looking at me. And he's getting snakes out and holding them. Is this the one you're talking about here? Oh, yeah, she's nice. Let me get some better light. I'll go outside and show you. Wow, that's somebody who cares. And he's showing me other ones. Look, I got this one here. I got this one here. I got this one here. And he pulls out one that was, quite frankly, one that just looked too doggone good. It was a male, and I was looking for a female. But he pulls this one out, and it was a Hypo jungle IMG, het for Anery, het for Kahl, and it just looks so good. It's 11 and a half months old, something like that. And he said, well, just let me know, and we can make a deal. We can work out a deal. Let me know. I said, all right, cool. let me do a little thinking, a little chatting, a little talking, a little ins and outs and what have yous. And he's excellent, man. No pressure, no troubles, no nothing. So I get back to him and said, yeah, I'm interested. Can you cut me a deal? Can we make a deal? Work out a deal, figure it out. And he makes me a deal and works it out. We figure it out at a price that I like. And I say, okay, let's make the purchase. And it ended up paying for it using PayPal, which makes me feel more comfortable because I've used PayPal to buy lots and lots of things on the internet, all sorts of things. And I know it's a little bit safer, a little bit of extra protection in there. Nothing's foolproof, and there's always a chance that things are going to go awry. But I felt more comfortable, made the purchase, wada bam, and I mean like that. He said, "Here's your FedEx label, all at 6:30 tonight. I'm gonna drop it off." And so I got it. I get a little message saying the package label's been created for me. I get an email. And at 6:30 or 6 or whatever, I look and I say, boom, hey, they've got the package. And then at about the same time, he sent me a photo of a box. This box right here in front of the FedEx. And he said, it's on the way. It showed up the very next morning. The package is here. I was at work. My wife picked it up. And here it is. Inside this box, there ought to be a snake. And we have a problem. I got to get a snake out of a box. And I've never done such a thing before with a live animal. So we'll just break out the Leathermade blade. We'll open this box up and we'll see what kind of mood and condition and what kind of beauty this thing has for me. Again, it's all new to me. I've handled snakes before, but I'm sure surprises are a possibility. But we'll see. I don't know what it looks like inside. I don't know what we're expecting at all. I've not even watched somebody open up one of these snake packages before. But in here we got Resident Reptiles, I got a little makeshift table here. Resident Reptiles, a cool iridescent sticker. And I like stickers. And guess what? Snakes go in glass enclosures. And stickers on glass enclosures, they kind of go together. Like peanut butter and chocolate cake icing. Fantastic. What else? We got some info about the snake. Tells me the sire is, the dam is. Man, that's some cool stuff. The date of birth, the ID, some stuff that I probably would have had to, that I might have saved. I saved all the information I could, but I might have had to go on and ask for some details about the animal. And that's professional stuff right there. That's pretty good. Thank you for your loyalty. As always, best health and quality is priority, followed by guarantee, gender, and genetics. So man, this is so far I'm impressed with this sort of stuff. And I've never done this before, so I don't always know what to expect. Now, inside here, I've got a weight. Feels like a weight and a little bit of insulation on the top. It's heated. It's warm. Feel it. It's warm. Smells like warm. Now, a little bit of a heated thing. I got some present party stuff. So we're going to have a party a little bit later on. The missus and I, we're going to use some of this stuff to decorate the house. The kids will love it. We're going to have to get a cake, some candles, stuff like that, some kazoos, and here we go. There is something soft, but not too soft, in a bag here. And yeah, I've dealt with bags like these before, from pet stores, from reptile conventions, and such as that. In fact, recently at a Repticon, I opened one of these up, and that lady that I bought that snake from was so good at tying this bag up so that the snake wouldn't get out that it took me a while to get it open. And it seems like perhaps Paul might be just as good as she. Or maybe I'm just bad at figuring out these things. But I don't want to cut it because that would be admitting defeat. But I'm going to unwind it. And now inside here, there's a snake that's been in a bag, that's been in a box. It's been moved from Ohio. I think it was Ohio. From Akron, Ohio, I believe, to Central Florida, West Central Florida. And I don't know what this snake is thinking and how it's feeling. So Paul showed me the snake. He got it out of his enclosure, handled it in front of the camera for me. But I really don't know what I'm getting into because I don't know this animal well. So I am going to be very, very cautious on how I handle it. So what I do know as an 8-year-old kid who put a snake in a pillowcase and tied a knot in the end and toted that joker around with me back in the 80s is that sometimes snakes in bags, they feel very calm and relaxed. But this snake has had a magnificent journey, and he doesn't know anything about me, and I don't know anything about him, so I will be a little bit cautious. Careful. I don't like to get bit, and I don't want to piss off a new animal that I want to be my friend. I want to move it into the house and get to know him a little bit and stuff like that. So we'll try to do things delicately. Try to start this relationship off right. I don't want to scare him. I don't want to jostle around too much. If you can see that, we'll see what all he looks like. And you can see for yourself, hopefully, why I wanted this fella in the house, what I wanted. And there you can see Mr. Boa got that head sticking out, that tongue flicking around. He's looking around. See him? He's such a handsome fella. He's looking around, a little bit cautious, a little bit worried perhaps. The tongue is waggling, wagga, 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 and I'm behind him. He can't see me. But I always feel like when you see that tongue out there, doga, 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 I usually feel like that snake is not too worried about biting me. And we'll see. We'll see how he goes. He's looking around. Can you still see him? He's looking around. I know they don't usually like cameras, but we'll get him out. We'll see how he feels. We'll see how he moves around. I'll see how good I can do at showing you what he looks like. Right now, he doesn't seem too worried about me, but I don't want to get him upset. I don't want him to be scared. I want him to be happy in his new home. And sometimes it takes a little time to get to know you. But right now, I'm dealing with a snake, an animal that seems like he'll be easy for me to deal with, which is what I like. He's not all jerky, snatchy, scared as heck. He's looking around, he's curious, and he is handsome. He looks so good. I'll see how close I can get him to this camera here in a minute, but I'm getting to know him a little bit. He probably knows that I'm, I don't know, nervous. Nervous is, not nervous of a snake. I've got snakes, but nervous because I've never dealt with such a thing before, paying that kind of dough and ordering that kind of snake. But man, he looks good. The Hypo, let's see if I got it all right here. Hypo, Jungle, IMG, het for Kahl, het for Anery type 1. And man, he looks good. He looks like everything he was cracked up to be in the pictures, in the little video. He looks so good. The temperament is fantastic. I mean, he might bite me if I give him every reason, but here's our deal. I'll try to never give him a reason to feel like he's got to bite me. And therefore, his end of the deal is to take me up on it. Never come up with his own reason to bite me. But you can see here, there's all kind of cool looking snake. He does not seem to be afraid. He's had a rough day, perhaps, or maybe it's been the best day of his life. Maybe hanging out in a bag with a little warmer on you is pretty good. Maybe that's a good life with the party paper and all that stuff. So we'll see if we can show you the snake a little better. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these chairs that are stacked up as a table so I can get a little closer to the camera. And we'll take a little bit better look at our newfound fella. And then I got to figure out what to call him, because he's part Kahl. Hey, are you het for Kahl? Are you het for Kahl? Yeah, he's het for Kahl. All right, the only snake I've got that's het for Kahl, and I'm glad. That's probably the reason I bought him. When I first started paying attention to boas, I kept hearing about my son, my oldest son. He's a real nerd in terms of he learns everything about everything, so I call him my nerd. If I ever have a question, I ask him, and he's probably going to know the answer. It's pretty crazy. The things he knows, it's not an insult. It's an impressive compliment, in my opinion. But he's talking about these snake genetics, and they're het, and they're dominant, and they're recessive, and they got this morph and that morph. And I kept hearing along the line the phrase het for Kahl. I don't know, maybe I heard it once, but it stuck in my head, het for Kahl. And for a while there, I could not stop saying something about things being het for Kahl. In fact, I was doing a book video one time, and my son's in the other room, and he said, "Hey, Dad, are you het for Kahl?" And I said, "Yeah, bud, I'm het for Kahl." And book people probably don't know what that is, because I didn't even know what it is. But there's my new found friend. See that tongue? Just waggle, 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 waggle. He do not care about the camera. He wants to get on it. He wants to climb on it. He is not worried about me in the least. This is, as far as a first transaction goes, buying a snake on Morph Market from a fella who made everything just as easy as he possibly could, who did extra, took a lot of extra steps to make me feel comfortable that things were going to go right. And that sticker right here, hang on a second. There's a sticker right here. And right there it is, Resident Reptiles 330. Check out Paul Mayfield for the 4th IV. Check him out, because I'm going back again. Should I decide I need another IMG or something that he might have, I'll go back again, because he really made this deal work. He put a snake in my hands that looks phenomenal, that acts better than I expected, is more comfortable and confident than I expected, and just a wonderful transaction in every way possible. And with that being said, I can think of no more lies to tell. So thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Tell them goodbye. What are we going to call you? What are we going to call you? Here's one thing I noticed about jungle. I was describing jungle, and I don't know a lot about jungle. I'll learn things. I'm the only person on the internet that doesn't know everything, or doesn't think he knows everything, or doesn't try to prove that he knows everything. But what I learned about jungle was that a lot of times on the saddles, you kind of got a cool, looks almost like a bandit mask. I described it to my wife as a Lone Ranger mask. I saw that on a lot of them that I looked up. It said jungle on it. And so I thought maybe he's got some of them saddles that look like a mask. Bandit. I grew up in Central Florida, and there was a USFL football team that's for a couple years in the 80s called the Tampa Bay Bandits. Maybe he can be Bandit Boa. I know, I'm a corny fella, but Bandit Boa, it works for me. We'll see if it sticks. That's all I got. Doo-doo. Until we meet again.